Okay, welcome learners. Our subject is tax planning and management, and the topic is assessment of companies. I am CMA Shivakumar A, ACMA, Assistant Professor of Commerce, Sri Nilakanda Government Sanskrit College, Patambi. Okay, now we have to discuss about the assessment of joint stock companies. You have already learned the assessment of individuals, the assessment of Hindu undivided family, and the assessment of partnership, and the assessment of association person, and the assessment of board of individuals, and the assessment of cooperative societies, and the assessment of trust in your previous classes, especially in third semester MCOM degree of Calicut University. You have already learned about the assessment of various entities as per the Income Tax Act 1961, the Income Tax Rules 1962, and the relevant Finance Act. Now we have to discuss about the assessment of joint stock companies. You have to learn the assessment of joint stock companies in assessment year 2019-20 and the assessment year 2020-21. Our subject is tax planning. That means you have to learn the assessment of joint stock companies in assessment year 2019-20 and the assessment year 2020-21. Now, as for the practical purposes, relevant assessment year is 2021-22, but you need not understand the assessment of joint stock companies in the assessment year 2021-22, but at least you have to learn and understand the assessment of joint stock companies in 2019-20 and the assessment of joint stock companies in 2020-21. First of all, before understanding about the assessment of joint stock companies, you have to learn about a lot of terms. The first important term related with assessment of a joint stock company is book profit. What is book profit? Section 115 JB of Income Tax Act 1961 gives a detailed explanation of book profit. What is book profit? I may explain. Please listen. As per explanation 1 to section 115 JB2, book profit for the purposes of section 115 JB means net profit as shown in the statement of profit and loss prepared in accordance with Schedule 3rd to the Companies Act 2013 as increased and decreased by certain items prescribed in this regard. That means to find out book profit, first of all, you have to draw your profit and loss account as per Companies Act 2013. Now, the relevant Companies Act is not the Companies Act 2013. Now, the relevant Companies Act is Companies Act 2019 and Companies Act 2020. That means you have to draw your profit and loss account as per the Companies Act 2019. After drawing, after the preparation of profit and loss account as per the Companies Act 2019, then you have to add certain items with the net profit, and then you have to deduct certain items from the net profit. Then you will get the book profit. Then learners, you have to understand what are the items which have to be added with the net profit to get the book profit. You have to understand what are the items which are to be deducted to get the book profit. So, I may explain. Listen, the following items are to be added. First of all, you have to add income tax paid or payable and the provisions of income tax, including education cess, interest, dividend distribution tax, DDT under the Income Tax Act. First of all, you have to add income tax paid and payable. including education cess, interest, dividend distribution tax. Then you have to add amount carried to any reserves by whatever name called. Sometimes you may call it as provision. Sometimes you may call it as reserves. Whatever name you may call. But the most important point is you have to add the amount carried to any reserves by whatever name called. Then you have to add amount or amounts set aside to provision made for meeting liabilities other than ascertained liability. Okay, that means you have to add amount or amounts set aside provisions made for meeting liabilities other than ascertained liability. Suppose, please imagine if you have made a provision for meeting ascertained liability, then you need not add that provision which is meant for meeting ascertained liability with the net profit to get book profit. You have to add only provision which are made for meeting unascertained liability. In this point, you have to remember provision for gratuity is a provision which is meant for ascertained liability. That means provision for gratuity need not be added. You cannot add provision for gratuity to find out book profit. Okay? Then you have to add amount by way of provision for losses of subsidiary companies. Okay? You have to add amount by way of provision for losses of subsidiary companies. Then you have to add amount or amounts of dividend paid and proposed dividend. Learners, you have to add dividend paid and proposed dividend with the net profit as per the profit and loss account to get the book profit. Then you have to add amount or amounts of expenditure relatable to any income to which section 10 or section 11 or section 12 apply. Okay, that means you have to add the expenditure related with exempted income. Section 10, section 11 and section 12 of the Income Tax Act related with exempted income. That means you have to add any expenditure relatable to exempted income like section 10, section 11 and section 12. Then what is section 1038? Section 1038 is about long-term capital gain. That means you need not add any expenditure relatable with the long-term capital gain under section 1038 of Income Tax Act. It's an important point. Then you have to add amount of depreciation debited to profit and loss account. Please add amount of depreciation debited to profit and loss account. Then you have to add amount of deferred tax and the provision. What is deferred tax? Deferred tax is a complicated term. You have to understand what is deferred tax. Deferred tax has a wider meaning as per the index. Please understand what is deferred tax from your commerce classes. You have to understand the meaning of deferred tax. It is a complicated term as per index. Here you have to add amount of deferred tax and provision for deferred tax and the amount or amounts set aside as provision for diminution in the value of any asset. Okay? You have to add another amount. You have to add amount standing in revaluation reserves relating to revalued asset on the retirement or disposal of such asset. Then, students, you have to add amount of income or loss in the case of unit referred to in section 47:17. Please add. You have to add all those items with the net profit. Then you will get book profit. After adding all those items, you have to deduct certain item. Then you will get book profit. In the assessment of companies, the most important term is the calculation of book profit. Therefore, students, Please understand what is book profit and the procedure for computation of book profit as per Income Tax Act and the relevant Finance Act. Then, students, you have to deduct certain items from the net profit. What are the items you have to be deducted? Listen, first of all, you have to deduct the amount withdrawn from reserves or provision if any such amount is credited to the profit and loss account. Please listen. Any amount withdrawn from reserves or provisions if any such amount is credited to the profit and loss account. Then you have to deduct income exempt from tax. Okay? You have to deduct income exempt from tax. Then you have to deduct income exempt under other clauses of section 10. You have to deduct income exempt under other clauses of section 10. That means you need not deduct long-term capital gain under section 1038 of Income Tax Act. Here you have to deduct all other incomes except section 1038 of Income Tax Act. Then you have to deduct income exempt under section 11. Then you have to deduct income exempt under section 12. Then you have to deduct share of profit from an associate person on which no income tax is payable in accordance with the provisions of section 86. You have to deduct share of profit from an associate person on which no income tax is payable in accordance with the provisions of section 86. Then you have to deduct interest, royalty, or technical fees chargeable to tax under section 115A to section 115 BBE, or capital gain arising on transactions in securities, if income tax payable in respect of this income under normal provisions. Please understand, you have to deduct interest, royalty, and technical fees if your company is a foreign company. Okay? Then you have to deduct royalty in respect of patent chargeable to tax under section 115 BBF. Then you have to deduct depreciation. First of all, you have to add depreciation with the net profit, and here you have to deduct the depreciation, but there is a difference in between those two depreciation. First of all, you have to add a total depreciation. Then here you have to deduct depreciation, but there is a slight difference of meaning between those two depreciation. Here you have to deduct depreciation other than because of revaluation of asset. Okay, please note the point. Here you have to deduct depreciation on asset other than those assets which have gone for revaluation. If your asset is if the amount of asset in your balance sheet shows as a revalued figure, you can please avoid depreciation on those revaluation. Please avoid depreciation on those revaluation and deduct depreciation other than because of revaluation asset debited to profit and loss account. Then you will get your book profit. You have to also deduct some more items before computing the book profit. You have to deduct amount withdrawn from revaluation reserve credited to profit and loss account to the extent it does not exceed the amount of depreciation on account of revaluation of asset. Okay, then you have to deduct aggregate amount of unabsorbed depreciation and loss brought forward in case of a company against whom an application for corporate insolvency resolution process has been admitted by the adjudicating authority under section 7 or 9 Part 10 of the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code. Please note it. What is Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code? Now in India, the winding up of companies has been done as per a new act. That act is known as Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code 2016. Okay. Now the creditors winding up and the members winding up has been carried out as per Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code. Okay. The chapter which is titled Winding Up has been cancelled from the Companies Act 2013. Now there is no chapter which is titled Winding Up in the Companies Act 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, and the 2020 Companies Act. Okay? Here you have to deduct the aggregate amount of unabsorbed depreciation and loss brought forward in case of a company against to an application for corporate insolvency resolution process. It is a process under Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code. Okay. Then you have to deduct. This is the most important point. This is the most important point in the calculation of book profit. Please understand. Amount of loss brought forward or unabsorbed depreciation, whichever is less as per books of account. You have to deduct. Here, as per books of account is the most important term. Students, please underline it. Here, the most important word is as per books of account. That means, learners, you have to deduct amount of loss brought forward or unabsorbed depreciation, whichever is less as per books of account. Okay. Then you have to deduct amount of profit eligible for deduction under section 80 HHC, under section 80 HHE, and under section 80 HHF. Last and not the least, you have to deduct profit of SIC industrial unit. Not last, some more items you have to be deducted. I may explain. Then you have to deduct the amount of deferred tax, if any. Such amount is credited to the profit and loss account, and amount of income or loss in the case of unit referred to in section 4717. Okay, then you will get book profit. That means in the assessment of joint stock companies, you have to first understand what is meant by book profit under Income Tax Act and how can you calculate book profit. There is a procedure to calculate the book profit. I have already explained about the procedure for computing book profit. Then after computing the book profit, you have to compute MAT. The second important term related with the assessment of joint stock companies is the calculation of MAT. MAT means minimum alternative tax. In the assessment of individuals, you have to understand AMT. In the assessment of individuals, there will be AMT. AMT means alternate minimum tax. If the assessment is the assessment related with HUF, there will be AMT. If the assessment is related with the AOP, there may be AMT. If the assessment is related with the assessment of partnership firm, there may be AMT. If the assessment is related with the assessment of limited liability partnership, there may be AMT. If the assessment is the assessment related with the corporate society, there may be AMT. But in the assessment of joint stock companies, you have to find out MAT, minimum alternative tax. I have already given an example in the computer screen. Please note it. Please understand it. Example. I may explain. This is the book profit of your company is 270,000. Then you have to find out 18.5% of profit as a multi. The amount of minimum alternative tax the percentage of minimum alternative tax will be 18.5%. That means you have to find out MAT on book profit at the rate of 18.5%. That means 2,70,000 multiplied by 18.5%. Then you will get 49,950. Then please add any surcharge if applicable. Nil. The profit is only 20,000. That means you need not add any surcharge. Then you have to add health and education cess. Relevant health and education cess will be 12%. Then you have to add health and education cess at the rate of 12%. That means health and education cess will be 49,950 into multiplied by 12 by 100. Then you will get 1,998. Then tax payable. What is the amount of tax payable? Please add 49,950 with 1,998. Then you will get the tax payable amount as 59,948. Okay? Tax payable is 59,948. That means the tax payable under MAT is 51,948. Here in the computer screen as PPT, tax payable MAT is shown as 1,53,920. That is incorrect. So please understand the correct amount is 51,948. 49,950 plus health and education cess 1,998. That is 51,948. That will be the tax payable under minimum alternative tax. That will be the tax payable under MAT. Okay. Students, in the assessment of joint stock companies, first of all, you have to understand about what is book profit and how can you compute book profit. We have already learned about what is book profit and the procedure about the computation of book profit. After understanding about the book profit and the procedure about the computation of book profit, we have already understand about the calculation of MAT and percentage of MAT and how can you compute MAT. Then you have to understand that computation total income. That means if your entity is a joint stock company, first of all, you have to understand, first of all, you have to compute income tax as per the normal provisions of income tax. Then you have to compute the book profit as per income tax side. And then you have to compute MAT. And you have to compare the tax payable as per the normal provisions of income tax with the minimum alternative tax payable as per the relevant provisions of income tax. Okay? Then whichever amount is the greater amount, that will be the tax. That will be the actual tax payable. I may again explain. First of all, you have to compute the tax payable as per the normal provisions of income tax act. Okay. Then you have to compute book profit. Then you have to compute MAT. Then you have to compare the tax payable as per the normal provisions of income tax act with the MAT payable as per the relevant portions of Income Tax Act 1961. Then to find out whichever amount is greater, if tax payable as per the normal portions of Income Tax Act is greater, please pay that amount to the CBDT. If the tax payable under MAT portion is greater, please pay that amount as income tax to the CBDT. Okay. Then we have already learned that how can you compute MAT as per the Income Tax Act and the relevant finance act. Now you have to understand how can you compute the the tax payable as per the normal provisions of Income Tax Act. Okay, I may explain. Please listen. First of all, you have to ascertain the taxable income under each head of income after deducting the losses and allowances brought forward from earlier years. That means, first of all, you have to compute income from house property, then compute income from business and professions, then you have to compute income under the capital gain, then you have to compute income under the other sources. Then please add it. And set off and adjust brought forward losses and allowances. Okay, and then you will get the gross total income. If you have got the gross total income, please deduction under Chapter 6A of Income Tax Act 1961. What are the deductions available under Chapter 6A of the Income Tax Act? If the assessee is a joint stock company, then the joint stock company can claim deduction under Section 80G, Section 80 GGA, Section 80 GGB, Section 80 IA, Section 80 IAB, Section 80 IAC, Section 80 IB, Section 80 IBA, Section 80 IC, Section 80 IE, Section 80 JJA, Section 80 JJAA, Section 80 LA, Section 80 PA. Okay, then the balance left is the total income. Okay, first of all, you have to compute gross total income and deduction under Chapter 6A, then you will get a total income. Then you have to compute the income tax as per total income. Then you have to compute the income tax on total income. Okay, as per the normal provisions of Income Tax Act 1961, Income Tax Rules 1962, and relevant Finance Act. Okay, here in the computer screen as a PPT, I have already given an example to you. Learners, please listen. Please look at the example. I have already given an example to you for the purpose of understanding the tax payable as per the normal portions of Income Tax Act. Then please imagine the total income may be 2,68,500. Total income. That means after deducting deduction under Chapter 6. First of all, you have to compute tax on long-term capital gain. If your total income includes long-term capital gain, first of all, compute income tax on long-term capital gain. You have to compute income tax at the rate of 20% on long-term capital gain. That means, please imagine, long-term capital gain may be 50,000. Then tax on 50,000 long-term capital gain at the rate of 20%. That will be 10,000. Then you have to compute tax on other income. Total income is 2,68,500. Long-term capital gain is only 50,000. That means other income, the amount of other income will be 2,18,500. Then you have to compute the income tax at the rate of 25%. Please note it, the income tax rate applicable to joint stock company is 25%. There is no slab to joint stock companies. If your assessee is an individual, there is a slab. If your assessee is an individual, there is a slab. If your assessee is individual, the income tax slab will be as follows. If your total income doesn't exceed 2,50,000, there will be no income tax. If your total income lies between 2,50,000 and 5 lakh, you need not pay any income tax. But if your total income exceeds 5 lakh, then you have to pay income tax at the rate of 5% between 2,50,000 and rupees 5 lakh. That means if your total income exceeds 5 lakh, you have to pay income tax at the rate of 5% on 2,50,000. That means the income tax will be 12,500. From 5 lakh 1 to 10 lakh, the relevant income tax rate is 20%. Above rupees 10 lakh, the relevant income tax rate is 30%. But if your assessee is a joint stock company, there is no such slab. Okay, you have to compute income tax at the rate of 25%. You have to compute income tax at the rate of 25%. There is only a flat income tax rate, that is 25%. Then the income tax will be 2,18,500 multiplied by 25 by 100. Then the amount is 54,625. Then total amount means total tax payable, total gross tax payable will be 64,625. That means 54,625 plus 10,000, that is 64,625. Then please add surcharge if any applicable. Here the total income is only 2,68,500. That means you need not add any amount of surcharge. Then the surcharge amount will be nil. Then add health and education cess at the rate of 4%. Then 64,625 multiplied by 4 by 100. Then the health and education cess will be 2,585. Then total tax payable will be 67,210. Okay. Then please imagine your book profit may be 8 lakh. We have to compare the tax payable as per the normal portions of Income Tax Act and the tax payable under the MAT. For that purposes, please imagine your book profit may be 8 lakh. Then tax on 8 lakh at the rate of 18.5%. Then tax on book profit at the rate of 18.5%. That will be 1,48,000. Then please add a surcharge nil. Then 1,48,000. Then please add health and education cess at the rate of 4%. That is 5,920. Then tax under MAT 1,53,920. Then you have to compute the tax payable as per the normal portions of Income Tax Act with the tax under MAT. Then you will get the tax liability. That means here in our example, learners, that means in our example, the tax payable will be 1,53,920. That is the greatest amount. Please compare the tax payable as per the normal portions of Income Tax Act with the tax payable under MAT. Then the greatest amount is 1,53,920. That means you have to pay as income tax 1,53,920. Okay. Then you have to understand the assessment of joint stock companies in the assessment year 2019-2020 and the assessment of joint stock companies in 2020-21. Now we have already discussed about the basic terms. Now the actual process begins. Until now, we have discussed about what is book profit, how can you compute book profit, then what is MAT, how can you compute MAT, then what is total income as per the normal portions of Income Tax Act, total income as per the normal portions Income Tax Act, what will be the tax liability of companies. Okay, now you have to understand the assessment of joint stock companies in the assessment year 2019-20 and the assessment year 2020-21. Okay, then first of all, corporate tax rate applicable for assessment year 2019-2020. This is companies with the turnover in 2016-17 up to rupees 250 crores, then the income tax rate will be 25%. Please note it. The year is 2016-17. Likewise, companies with turnover in 2016-17 exceeding rupees 250 crores, the income tax rate will be 30%. That means in our example, we have taken an income tax rate at the rate of 25%, but if the companies with the turnover in 2016-17 exceeding 215 crores, you have to take income tax rate at the rate of 30% instead of 25%. Okay. Then in 2019-20, the relevant surcharge will be 7% of taxable income if net income exceeds 1 crore but does not exceed 10 crore, and 12% of taxable income if net income exceeds 10 crore. Health and education cess will be 4% of income tax plus surcharge. Then you have to compute MAT at the rate of 18.5%. In 2019-20, the process is quite simple. First of all, you have to compute total income and tax payable on total income. Tax payable will be 25% or 30% on the basis of turnover. Then you have to add surcharge and health and education cess. Then you have to compute book profit and MAT. Then please compare the tax payable as per the normal quotients of Income Tax Act with the tax payable under MAT quotient. Then find out whichever amount is the greatest amount. Please pay the tax. Okay. The flat rate is 25% or 30%. But if your total income includes winning under section 115 BB, the income tax rate may be 30%. Likewise, short-term capital gain under section 111A, the income tax rate will be 15%. Long-term capital gain under section 112, the income tax rate may be 10% or 20%. Likewise, long-term, if your total income includes long-term capital gain under section 112A, the income tax rate will be 10%. If your total income includes winnings under section 115 BB, short-term capital gain under section 11A, long-term capital gain under section 112, and long-term capital gain under section 112A, then you have to compute the income tax at the rate of 30% or 15% or 10% or 20% or 10% as the case may be. All other income included in the total income has to be charged at the rate of 25% or 30% on the basis of turnover of company in 2016-17. Okay, clear? Now, if your company is a foreign company, the assessment is quite easy. If your company is a foreign company, the assessment year 2019-20 and the assessment year 2020-2021, there's no difference between the assessment of foreign company in the assessment year 2019-20 and the assessment year 2020-21. But if your company is a domestic Indian company, there is differences in the assessment of domestic joint stock companies in the assessment year 2019-20 and the assessment year 2020-21. But if your company is a foreign company, there is no differences in the assessment year 2019-20 and the assessment year 2020-21. Okay? If your company is a foreign company, then royalty and technical fees received from Government of India or Indian concern, income tax rate will be 50%, and winning under section 115 BB, income tax rate will be 30%. Short-term capital gain under section 111A, 15%. Long-term capital gain tax under section 112, 10% or 20%. Long-term capital gain under section 112A, the relevant income tax rate is 10%. All other income has to be charged at the rate of 40%. Okay. Now, the surcharge applicable to foreign companies. Surcharge at the rate of 2% or the amount of income tax if total income exceeds 1 crore rupee but doesn't exceed 10 crore rupees. Likewise, surcharge at the rate of 5% if total income exceeds 10 crore rupees. Marginal relief as applicable to domestic companies. Health and education cess at the rate of 4%. Then the most important session of this lecture, corporate tax applicable for assessment year 2020-21. Students, please note it. As per the Taxation Law Amendment Bill 2019, the amended slab rate for companies are as under. Please understand it. If the assessment year is 2020-21, if your company is a existing domestic company, you can opt assessment of companies under section 115BA. If your company is a existing domestic company and the assessment is 2020-21, you have an option. You have an option. Either you may opt section 115BA or another section had to be discussed. Okay. First of all, you may opt section 115BA. What is section 115BA? Companies with the turnover, if you have opted section 115BA, then you have to understand the turnover in 2017-18. Please note the year. You have to understand the turnover in 2017-18. If your turnover doesn't exceed 400 crores, then your income tax rate will be 25%. If your turnover exceeds 400 crores, then your income tax rate will be 30%. And surcharge at the rate of 7% of taxable income if net income exceeds 1 crores but doesn't exceed 10 crores, and 12% of taxable income if net income exceeds 10 crores. Likewise, health and education cess at the rate of 4% of income tax plus surcharge. Then, the most important point I have to communicate to you, learners, as a cost and management accountant, most important point I have to communicate with you is that in assessment year 2020-21, minimum alternative tax will be levied at the rate of 15% on book profit. Okay? If your assessment year 2019-20, the minimum alternative tax will be at the rate of 18.5%, but if the assessment year is 2020-21, the minimum alternative tax will be levied at the rate of 15% on book profit. If the company has opted section 115BA in the assessment year 2020-21, then your company has to pay minimum alternative tax at the rate of 15%. Okay? Then there is another option. In assessment year 2020-21, if your company is an existing domestic company, you may opt either section 115BA or opt section 115BAA. Please note it. If your company is a joint stock company, if your company is a domestic company, if your company is an existing domestic company, you may either opt section 115BA or opt section 115BAA. If your company has opted section 115BAA, then what will be the income tax portion? Then the income tax rate will be only 22%. You need not pay income tax at the rate of 25% or 30%. If you opted section 115BAA, you have to pay only income tax at the rate of 22%, and you have to pay surcharge at the rate of 10% of taxable income if net income exceeds 1 crore. Likewise, health and education cess will be 4% of income tax plus surcharge. Okay? But if your company has opted section 115BAA, you cannot claim exemptions and deductions. That's the most important point. Without claiming exemption deduction, if your company has opted section 115BAA, your company cannot claim exemption deduction under the following sections. I may explain, please listen. You cannot claim the deduction under section 10AA, Special Economic Zone Unit. under section 32A 2A, additional depreciation on new plant and machinery at the rate of 20% or 30%. Under section 32AD, 15% on new asset, 15% on new asset in undertaking set up in specified backward area in Andhra Pradesh, Bihar, Telangana, and West Bengal. You cannot claim deduction under section 33AB, specified percentage of amount deposited with the T or fee or rubber board. You cannot claim deduction under section 33ABA. You cannot claim deduction under 35(1), 2, or 2A. You cannot claim deduction under section 35(2AA). You cannot claim deduction under section 35AD. You cannot claim deduction under 35CCC. You cannot claim deduction under 35CCD. You cannot claim any deduction under chapter 6A of the income tax except section 80JJAA. You can only claim deduction under section 80JJAA. You cannot claim any deduction under chapter 6. Okay. Likewise, you cannot set off any brought forward losses to the extent such loss relate to deduction mentioned above. Okay. Such losses would also not be allowed to be carried forward to subsequent years. But you can claim depreciation. You can claim normal depreciation. You cannot claim additional depreciation, but you can claim normal depreciation. Okay. Likewise, please note it. Benefit of lower rate under the aforesaid section can be exercised by the company from any year commencing from assessment year 2020-21 or onwards. Such option is to be exercised in prescribed manner before due date to return under section 139(1) for the year in which such option is exercised. Please note it. Option once exercised would be binding for subsequent years and cannot be withdrawn. Most important point, note it. The most important point, I have already shown the point in your computer screen as a PPT. Please note it. Companies availing benefit of lower tax rate under new provisions of section 115BAA or section 115BAB have been exempted from MAT. If you have opted section 115BAA, you need not calculate income tax as per MAT. Okay, that means you need not compute book profit and you need not calculate MAT. If the assessment is 2020-21 and you have opted section 115BAA, then you need not compute book profit and you need not compute MAT. Most important point, the most important benefit available to you as an assessee, learners. Then, if your company is a new manufacturer domestic company, if your company is a new manufacturer domestic company, you may either opt section 115BA or you may opt section 115BAB. Okay. If your company is a new manufacturer domestic company, you may either opt section 115BA or you may opt under section 115BAB. If the assessment is 2020-21 and your assessee is a joint stock company and your assessee is a new manufacturer domestic company, your company is to be a new manufacturer domestic company, you may opt either section 115BA or opt assessment under section 115BAB. Okay, I may explain the relevant provision related with the section 115BAB. Then the income tax rate will be only 15%. Then surcharge will be at the rate of 10% of taxable income. If net income exceeds 1 crore, health and education service will be 4% of income tax plus surcharge. Then you have to understand, following conditions need to be satisfied for getting a benefit of lower tax rate under section 115BAB. Okay, you have to understand if such company is set up and registered, your company has to be registered after 1st October 2019 and commences manufacture activity up to 31st March 2023 to claim assessment under section 115 BAB. Is not it? Likewise, the provisions of section 115 BAA England for the purpose of aforesaid preferential right has to be computed without claiming exemption, reduction, set off, etc. If you are opted deduction under section 115 BAA, you cannot claim exemption and reduction, which are available to a normal joint stock company as per section 115 BA. You have option, learners, you have option. You may opt either section 115 BA or opt section 115 BAB. Okay. Then additionally, following condition must be fulfilled by the company to avail benefit of lower tax rate under this section. Company must not be formed by splitting up or the reconstruction of business already in existence. Company must not use machinery or plant previously used for any purpose. Used plant and machinery to the extent of 20% of total value of plant and machinery is permissible. The company must not use building previously used as a hotel or a convention center. Okay. Likewise, as per portions of section 115 BAA, if company opt for lower rate of tax given under this section, it shall not be able to subsequently withdraw this option. Once you have opted this particular option, then you cannot change the option. That's the most important point. Okay. Then there's another section. There's the most important point, learners. Then if your company has opted section 115 BAB, then you need not calculate MAT. You need not calculate book profit. You need not calculate MAT. Please note it. Then reduction from, okay. Then now we have understand about the assessment of joint stock companies. Okay. First of all, you have to compute the book profit and you have to compute MAT. Then you have to compute the income tax payable as per the normal portions of income tax Act. Then compare both the MAT and the tax payable as per the normal portions of Income Tax Act and payable. Whichever amount is greater, that will be your taxability. Then we have discussed about the assessment of foreign companies. Then we have discussed about the assessment of joint stock companies in the assessment year 2019-21. If the assessment year is 2019-21, the assessment is quite easy. But the assessment year is 2020-21. The company may have option. The company may opt section 115 BA, section 115 BAA, section 115 BAB. Okay. Now we have to wind up the session. ഇതൊരു വലിയൊരു ടോപ്പിക്കാണ്. അപ്പോൾ ഇതുവരെ ഇത് കേട്ട് വളരെ സഹകരിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് കേട്ടിരുന്നു. അതിൽ വളരെയധികം അഭിനന്ദനങ്ങൾ. ഈ പരിപാടി അവതരിപ്പിക്കാൻ എനിക്കൊരു അവസരം തന്ന അസാപ്പിനും ഇതിൽ പങ്കെടുത്ത ടെക്നീഷ്യൻസിനും എന്റെ നന്ദി രേഖപ്പെടുത്തുന്നു. ഓക്കെ, താങ്ക് യു.